Hey guys, so I know this video has been taking way too long to be made and posted, but it is January 9th at 2:56 p.m. and yeah, I work different hours now, so I've been up since 1 a.m. yesterday or this morning. Yeah, see, third shift messes with me. Anyways, so this video is pretty much going to be about the fact that I'm no longer with the guy that I made those videos with.
Did you eat my food?
Anyways, so we're not together anymore because he was originally supposed to just be my roommate, right? Well, we were hanging out for 2-3 months, not long enough to be like, oh, yeah, let's date, but we were hanging out, getting to know one another, we liked each other, and we decided, well, he decided 2 days before he moved into my place, that he would ask me out. And I said yes, because I really liked him. He was a sweetheart. He was cute and funny and sarcastic, and he fit me. Like, we would finish each other's sentences, and it was just like one of those cute relationships. But it just became too much with everything that I had to do. Ooh, I can lean back. This is awesome. You guys are probably going to be like, where is she recording? Anyway, I wouldn't be smiling making this when we actually broke up. I think it was October 20. It was before our 5-month anniversary, like right before it. So I think it was, gosh, now I have to actually do math. So it was right before our anniversary, which was on the 23rd. We started dating on May 23rd, which was 3 days before my birthday. And we broke up on the 21st. Yeah. Because it was right around the time that it was going to be our 5-month anniversary. So, yeah. And that's why we made our little, that's why I made those cooking videos, because we were like, oh, happy anniversary, and they were fun to make, but in between those videos, like those clips, we were arguing in the last video that we made because we were just like cooking, and we just got on each other's nerves. He doesn't have as much patience as I do. Granted, I don't have 100% patience, but for the most part, I have patience. And I'm sorry, I keep messing with my hair, but it really drives me nuts. You guys normally see me with my hair down or with my hair parted on the side, the bangs down with the hair up. And you'll understand why. Like, I can't find my hairspray. So how am I gonna do my hair? And I know I could probably find it now, but anyways, that goes in my life update. We broke up because first, it started with a month into dating, found out that he had a warrant for his arrest. And he didn't have a valid ID, and he didn't want to take care of things when he could have. He was working with his uncle 2.5 hours away, because after he told me that he had a warrant for his arrest, I'm like, I was pissed. Just put it at that. I was pissed, because I was like, that's something you tell someone. Like, obviously, like, our relationship kind of went fast-paced. Actually, it went really fast-paced. Like, he moved in before we were even dating for a week. But, like, yeah, that's something you tell someone when you, like, if you're moving in with them and it's kind of like a few weeks or a few days or a few months. Probably shouldn't do it. Like, don't be stupid and allow someone to move in with you when you don't fully know them as well as you should before letting them move in. I found that out and I'm like, are you serious? Well, he started to work 2.5 hours away, and I'm like, okay, he's not living in my place. His address was changed, yes, but he didn't legally live there. So he worked 2.5 hours away, and he had to move his probation officer there because he also was in a lot of trouble when he was younger. And he was 27, so you would think he would be done with that stuff, but clearly not. I don't feel like bad putting all this out here, but I'm like, you gotta understand my life. I don't know if I want you to understand it that well, though. I don't know. Well, then his grandma had passed away. So, as my viewers know when they watched my other videos, he had a 9-year-old daughter, and she was awesome. She was adorable, she was silly, she was talented, she was smart, she was proper. Like, he wasn't in her life as much as I wish he would have been, but she came into town for the summer, and prior to that summer he didn't see her for 3 years. So he didn't see her till, like, he's seen her when she was 6 years old, and then not again until she was 9. And that's like, you know, shit happens, I get that, but you would think that they would try and, like, spend money to go get a plane ticket or something, but he couldn't do that because he was on probation, and his probation officer would not have allowed him to go all the way to Texas. So, and by the way, yes, that's really far from where I'm at. I'm in Michigan, really far. She was in town, and his grandma, John's grandma, had passed away, and it was really weird because I would take his daughter up north with me. Like, I would drive 1.5 hours to go pick her up, and then, like, I only did this once or twice. I only did it once, actually, I think. Maybe twice, I'm not sure. It's all kind of pretty much a blur. But, I remember picking her up. I had to drive 1.5 hours to go to her grandma's house, pick her up, and made sure she had everything that she needed to spend the night with her father. And then I drove her 1 hour further. Yeah, it was 1.5 hours from my place, so 1 hour further. So it was 2.5 hours altogether, and she stayed there. I stayed for 2 days, and then I went back home and went to work, and then my next days off, I drove there and spent time with them, and then I took her back to her grandma's house. And when I dropped her off, like, the mom wanted her back at the grandma's because she wanted her to spend more time with the grandma. And I went in there, and normally when I would go over with John or, like, by myself, his grandma would be sitting in this certain chair that she had, or she'd be outside at a certain chair. And she was in her room where Kira, John's little girl, was sleeping. So I'm like, well, that's weird. I thought no one was home, so I was, like, knocking, and I was like, hello, hello, and I realized it was unlocked, so I opened it. I'm like, is your grandma not here? Like, I wasn't sure. So I seen her in the rooms and laying down, and I was like, she's like, oh, I thought you guys weren't supposed to be back until Thursday. I'm like, nope, the mom wanted her back now. She's like, oh, okay. I said, normally, I was like, I came in and I thought nobody was, and I was like, I knocked on the door and I didn't hear anybody, so I just came in because I realized the door was unlocked and I thought nobody was here. So I was like, what am I going to do with Kira? Because I had to go to work right out. Like, I had enough time to drop her off and then go home, get ready for work, and then leave right away. Because I wanted to spend as much time with him as I could before I had to go back to work. So I would go, like, either the night that I got done, like my Friday, which wasn't a normal Friday, or I would go the next morning and then spend as much time as possible, or the next afternoon. Like, it just depended on how much sleep I got. And sometimes I wouldn't get any, and I would just get coffee and just go. Like, I normally see you on the chair and you're on the bed, like, are you alright? And she's like, yeah, I just don't feel good. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I hope you feel better. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, people don't feel good all the time. Randomly, like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten sick yet this winter, honestly. Knock on wood. Oh, that really hurt. My knuckles are all dry and stuff. And cracking. Ugh. Sucks. I keep having to put lotion on them. Anyways, so all this stuff happened with that. We went to her funeral. He stopped going to work. He, like, I'm trying to shorten it so this video is not too freaking long. So that we went to the funeral. He was like holding his sister and his dad, and I was, like, Kira was standing by me, his little girl Kira. And I noticed, like, she wrote a speech, and she was really excited to read this speech. And it was, like, you know, it was cute. It didn't make much sense, but it did at the same time. It was cute. And when we got there was so many people. She goes, we're still in the car, and she's like, I don't think I want to read my speech anymore. I was like, that's okay, you don't have to read your speech. Just as long as you wrote it, your grandma still is looking down on you, and she read it already. And she's like, yeah, I don't want to read it. I was like, that's fine. Well, when they started talking about things, memories and how she used to be and everything, I put my arm around her because she started to cry. And the next, like, a week or two later, she's like, I almost said something to you the other day. It was like right before she was going back home to go see her mom. And I was like, what's that? And she goes, nothing. I'm like, well, what was it? And she goes, I almost called you Mom. I like almost started crying. Like, I started tearing up because I was like, oh, melt my heart. But I was like, why is that? And she goes, just something you did. And I was like, well, what did I do? And she's like, well, when I started getting upset because of my grandma passing away, you put your arm around me and comforted me like a mom would do. And I was like, then that's when I started crying. Like, I walked out of my room to cry a little bit. And then she actually went to her dad, and she told him the same thing, like exactly how she worded it to me. And I was like, John, she just told me that in the room. He goes, yeah, I heard her. It was cute. Like, we went to Michigan Adventures, we went to the beach, we went to the mall, we went to a bunch of places. We did a bunch of things. Like, well, we went out to dinner, we went to, not the mall, the store. We go to the store. Like, I gave her my cheerleading uniform that I had when I was in 3rd grade. It was a time where I didn't really, like, I wore it a few times, but I never actually got to cheer in it because right before it started, like that season started, I got bit by a dog, so I couldn't cheer anymore, but I still had the uniform for some reason. And she was, like, obsessed with dancing and cheerleading, and she couldn't decide if she wanted to be a gymnastics or a cheerleader, like be in gymnastics class or be a cheerleader. So I asked if she could fit into my uniform, and she could when she was 9 years old. So I was like, sweet. So I gave it to her. I was like, you can have it. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, it looks good on you. And I'll insert a picture right here. But yeah, it was awesome. She still has that, and I kind of regret giving it to her, but at the same time I don't, because when I gave that uniform to her, it lit her world up. And who knows, by the time I have a daughter, maybe she's not even going to like cheerleading stuff. Like, maybe she doesn't want to be a cheerleader. I hope not, because cheerleaders are bitches. They really are. Like, I had fun cheerleading, but they're just so catty, and they're all about themselves. Like, all themselves. I mean, maybe not every cheerleader, but most of them. The school I went to anyways. Not all of them. So just in case one of you sees this, doesn't mean it's about you. Yes, my high school does know that I make videos, but they know I make singing videos, not vlogs. But they could find me on finding my singing video channel, so. Anyways, his grandma who passed away left him money, and he could have taken care of that warrant, and he could have done a bunch of things with it, taken care of his fines for being in trouble. He could have gotten off probation because all he had was to do 1 more month, and then as long as he paid his fines off, he was off of probation. So we wouldn't have had to worry about that. But he didn't. He ended up spending them on drugs. I was like, I hinted towards it. I didn't tell him how to spend his money because it was his money. I was just hoping that he would want to better his life, because that was like a second chance. His grandma gave him a second chance to get his shit together, because when I first met him, she was pissed off at him because of the old situation that had happened. And the first thing she said to him was, looks like you haven't learned your ways. Yeah, she She was actually pretty funny. Oh my god, I'm so tired. I've been up since 1 a.m. Yeah, pretty much he was heading down the wrong path. He wasn't changing his ways. He was getting older, but he was still in his childish ways. And I was allowing that to drag me down. I was literally paycheck to paycheck. I bought him a fucking phone. I bought him a better phone than mine because he had a phone that would either, it wouldn't charge or it would not stay on. Like it would just not, well, it would just not turn on or it just wouldn't charge. So I bought him, let me go get it. I bought him the Galaxy S7 Edge. So it's in pretty good condition. This is just the screen protector. I need to get a new one. But yeah. I spent a couple $100 on this phone. He even got a better phone than me. I have the Galaxy S6. Not anymore, just kidding. I have the Galaxy S6 and I like it, you know, but it's like in perfect condition too because I've only had this for like maybe 10.5 months, 11 months, and I only owe 170 on it. I'm going to transfer my phone into this one because of more reasons, which I'll get into my life update after this one. More detailed about the phone, but anyways, I'll explain how I got the phone back. I would get up at 1 a.m. I'd get out of work at 1 a.m., sometimes 2 a.m., sometimes even 2:30. Who knows? And I would go home, take a shower, go to bed, sleep for a little bit, wake up, drive 2.5 hours for him to see his probation officer. And one time I was actually almost late. I got him a job with my stepmom my stepdad and my mom, doing like lawn mowings and helping them rebuild their house build a house, fix up a house that they're buying together, or they bought already. And my stepdad still lives in his house and my mom still lives in hers. They're both still fixing up both their houses while they're fixing this one and they're working. So it's gonna take a little bit because they've been married for like a year and 4 months. So yeah, sorry, I just fixed my bra. Like, these bras suck. I'll talk more about that too later. If I remember. But anyways, he wasn't really making much, but he was still bringing money to the situation. Like, because I was paying for everything. I was paying for the phone, I was doing this, I was doing that, and then he was like, when his grandma's money came to him, he was like, well, I'm going to help you pay, like, the phone bill. I'm going to pay all of it so you don't have to worry about it. You've been paying everything else, and I'll pitch him here and there, but I wanted him to pretty much keep that for himself. Wait till he gets a job, keep that, a certain amount in his savings, spend a decent amount on clothes, because he didn't have very much. So he spent money on clothes and whatnot. And we went on a few nice dates. That was nice and all, but there was so much stuff that he could have done with that money that he decided to do other things with. And it's unfortunate because he had something in his hands and he pretty much just went, all gone. So he screwed up on that because, and I wouldn't tell him what to do with it, but I would suggest, you should do this, you should do that, or this is what I would do. What are you going to do with it? Kind of not be a pest about it, just like with the job situation. When his grandma passed away, he didn't want to go back to his uncles and work. He wanted to stay here and hang out with me and spend time with me. He wanted to just be with me, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I was always with him. Never got to, really do anything. When I did, he was like, and I was okay with it, but, there's some points where you just need space. If you, I think that it should be, when you're in a relationship, it should be, we can do all this stuff together, but we can also have our own life. A relationship is not about doing things all together all the time. It's about having your own life and finding time to put them, bring them in it. Because you gotta still have your own things that you gotta do. You gotta have your own hobbies you like to do, like singing. I want to start working out again. Bunch of stuff I could be doing, and hanging out with friends and family and stuff like that. But they don't need to go there every time. It's just, people that are in relationships now think that you gotta do everything together, because there's no trust in any relationships nowadays, which is another reason why we had a situation. My ex was talking to me, his ex was talking to him, but not like that. They were just talking as friends, but each of us was getting jealous. Each of us was talking about it, but we weren't saying fully what we were talking about. Like, he got better with it. I would just straight up say how I felt. That's how I am. But with him, he would act like it was okay, and then he would change his mind after you already said or did something and be like, oh, well, that upset me. Well, maybe you should have said that before I did it, because you said you were fine with it and now you're not. Like, you're like a chick that doesn't know what the fuck they want. But they hate when girls do that. I don't understand the logic of guys. Like, I really don't. That's why it is January and I'm not even talking to anybody right now. Like, I'm good. Not at all. Like, I'm good. I don't need that. I started my New Year's off right for sure though. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. But anyways, see, this is my third take. This is my second take. And it's, holy shit, it's so long. Oh, these new hours are really killing me. I need to get used to them, but with everything that's going on in life right now, well, was going on in life, with everything that was just building up, we were talking about it, but we weren't, like, I was holding grudges, not gonna lie, and I was getting super overwhelmed with the fact that he could have gotten a job several different times and he didn't want to, because he didn't want to make it harder to where, like, it would be more stressful, which he also wanted to have kids, and I got excited about that again, and that's something that I don't want, because I even met his daughter way too soon, because it was either meet her now or meet her when we're dating for a year, unless we come up with some money to go and visit her, which at the time I was living paycheck to paycheck, like I was saying, and he had a bunch of things he had to pay off, so it wasn't looking like we were going to do that very soon, even if she wouldn't have. So I met her too soon and fell in love with her, and I don't want to do that. Like, the next relationship, if they have a kid, that's fine, but I would like to date longer than I dated this guy before I meet the other, like, their kid, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. I fall for people too quick, I care for people too quick, and especially kids. Like, I love kids. I am hoping to have some within the next at least 10 years. 7 maybe. I don't know. I don't know where my life is going right now. Oh my god, my back is so sore. But yeah, so everything building up and everything, I asked him if he could go to his friend's house for a few days, because I broke up with him. I was like, you know, I can't do this anymore. This is too much for me. Like, gas alone every 2 weeks, driving 2.5 hours there, 2.5 hours back. And, like, I started smoking cigarettes. Okay, I'm just gonna put that out. Well, I was buying my cigarettes and his cigarettes. He was smoking Newport Menthol, and I have been smoking American Spirit Light Green. I know, bad habit. I shouldn't be smoking while I'm singing, like I'm a singer and all, but I admitted to you guys something that I've been doing for a little over a year, and I never wanted to hit the 1 year mark, but I'm getting to the point where I'm not really smoking that much, and that much as in, like, a pack will last me a week. Maybe like 5 days sometimes. Recently though, so yeah. Didn't want to ever admit that, because I don't like it. Like, I like it, but I don't like it. But I would be buying my cigarettes on top of his, or I would buy my cigarettes and he would, you know, share, but he would smoke more than me. Or, like, when I was with him, I would smoke more around him, because he would light up so many cigarettes, and I'm just like, oh yeah, social, like, I was doing the social smoking thing where I was like, you know, and I didn't really need it, I didn't really want it, but I was just like, you know, if you're a smoker, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so I told him it was too much and I couldn't handle it, and I just needed to figure things out. well, at first actually I broke up with him. He was begging me to not do it. And I was like, you know what, just go to your friend's house for a few nights and then let's see if that's still what I want to do. So that's what he did. He had his friend pick him up. We talked and cried for like hours beforehand, and I was like, this is going to be good for us. Like, you can focus on you for a few days. I can focus on me for a few days. We can get some space, because we weren't fighting, but we were fighting. Like, not like to the point where we shouldn't have been even together. But it was just like little things that was upsetting us that we were allowing to get upset about because we weren't sleeping enough, because we had so much stuff we were trying to do. So, yeah, we were trying to find a house. We were trying to find names for babies. We were thinking of, like, I made a list of what stuff I would buy for the kid. And I know this is stupid because I was only with them for almost 5 months. So when you're watching this, the main reason why I'm saying this is because do not be stupid. A child is something like magical. It's like the one thing in life that just seems like life doesn't suck so much. Just holding a baby and looking at them, and like, it's just magical. And I didn't realize that until I met my niece, and I'm like holding her and I'm just like, I want this. I really do, but you can't rush into it because, especially in my situation, I didn't grow up with a dad. I know what that's like, and if you're watching this and you know what that's like, it sucks. Or a mom. Like, nobody should have to go without one parent. Like, have one and not the other, or not have any, because how are you going to know how you were raised, and or like whoever raises you, how are you going to know your background if you don't get to meet those people? You don't get to spend time with those people. You don't get to see how they act. You don't get to see how much alike you are of them. I don't want my kid to go through the pain that I went through. I want them to have that family outing, like the family background where you watch movies together, you eat together, you do a bunch of things together, camping, canoeing, swimming. Like, we had that, my brother and I had that one with just my mom, but that is also something to like just have with family, like your whole family, if you can. It's great. It sounds great anyways. I act like I've already been picturing this guy is like, I already know. This is my second time that I've talked about having kids, so I should know. But yeah, I'm not gonna rush that anymore, because when the time is right, the time is right. And when I meet the guy that's supposed to be the father of my kids, then I'll know for sure, and it won't be until I got a ring on it. How's that sound? Until I know for sure this person is wanting to be with me for the rest of my life. Until there's a ring on it, then I'll start talking about having kids. Obviously, you gotta throw it out there and like make sure that they like kids and that they want kids, because if you're dating them for like a year or two and you find out they don't want kids and you really want kids, that would suck. I mean, granted, you could adopt and all that, but I want to go through that whole pregnancy thing, feel the baby kick inside of you, and wow, I'm like insane. I'm like horrible at making videos now. You guys are gonna be like, holy shit, this is like an hour video of cola. But hey, you guys haven't seen me in a couple months, so here you go, cherry cola. By the way, I dyed my hair red. I don't think I've made a video since I dyed my hair red. Nope, I haven't. Nope, I haven't. Wow. Yeah, but it's not as red anymore though, because it was like the beginning of September when I did it, but it's still kind of red, so I go up to people and I'm like, at work, and I'm like, I'm cherry cola. It kind of is the reason why we're 100% not getting back together. He didn't have his license. He had a suspended license for drunk drivings. He had 3 drunk drivings, okay? Well, the second day, it was the night before I was supposed to go and pick him back up from his friend's house, because his friend picked him up and I was going to go pick him up for 40 minutes away. Well, the night before I was supposed to do that, I get out of work to a phone call. It was a sheriff's office. And I'm like, why would a sheriff's office be calling me? And I instantly thought of John, and I was like, no, are you fucking kidding me? Well, I told him with everything in his past, I'm not going to judge him for it, but if I ever get a phone call saying that you're in jail, we're done. Like, I'm not doing that. And so it took me 2 or 3 hours after getting out of work to finally be able to get a hold of people and find out semi what happened. And I think it was a couple weeks ago that I actually found out everything. So yeah, even talking to him on the phone in jail, he didn't, like, he was only talking about his situation, how the probation officer messed up and lied to him. He was supposed to only have a couple months in jail and serve his warrant and have that taken care of and then get his license back after going through a program. He was going to have all this done, and then all of a sudden he finds out he's going to have 2 to 5 years in prison. So that was really hard. I thought about, like, because he blamed me for it. He got pulled over driving his friend's vehicle. He was supposed to just go to his dad's, go to his sister's, go to his mom's, and then he was supposed to just go back to Mike's, go to sleep, and I was supposed to pick him up in the morning when I got out of work after going to sleep and waking up. He wanted me to pick him up that night when I got out, and I'm like, no, I think, you know, I said 2 nights, so 2 nights it is. Well, he couldn't handle that, I guess. I hate thinking about this. Like, I hope that I can just put this in the back of my mind, because it's like a super fucked situation. Like, he is a genuinely nice, caring, loving guy. He just had problems that I addressed him to, and he got pissed off about, and a little bummed out about it right now, so just give me a moment. Anyways, so he was supposed to do all that, and he decided to drink. The messed up thing about it, though, is it was a Saturday night. So actually, now that I think about it, it was the 22nd when he ended up in jail. I was supposed to work at 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. and he had called me before I went in, and I was talking to him, and he's like telling me what he was doing, and I was like gonna have a girls' night the next day and go to like this hot tub place for the first time and have like wine and stuff like in this like jacuzzi tub, and it was just gonna be so awesome. And I was so excited for it, but I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna drink that much because I know in hot tubs you get like, you feel it more than you should have after like 1 drink or 2 drinks. And I was like, and plus I'm like kind of over the whole drinking thing, because like we would drink together, but like not as much as he would drink, I would drink. Like, I don't really find it fun to drink. Like, it's fun. There's a lot of fun moments, not gonna lie. I'm not saying I never drink, because I occasionally drink. That's fine. But as of like lately, I just haven't wanted to drink. But he has, and I was like, you know, I'm not gonna drink that much. I don't even want to get a buzz, or I only want to get a buzz. I don't want to even get drunk or anything like that. He's like, yeah, me too. I don't want to drink anymore either. And blah blah blah. We'll come to find out, when he was telling me that on the phone, like we were talking on the phone, he straight up said it through the phone. When we were talking, he was already at his sister's house when he told me he was on the way there. So I don't know why he had to lie about that, but he lied about that because I ended up being able to get his phone through his aunt. I was like, you know, I'm being charged this phone, I've been paying on it, and I suspended it for 3 months, and it's actually this month on the 21st. January 21st, I'll be switching to this phone because I have to suspend this phone, and you'll find out more about this anyways. So I need to like find someone to buy this phone pretty much. So if you want a Galaxy S6 in perfect good condition, the only thing wrong with it is the little piece for the charger. I don't know if you can see it. I hope you can see it, but it's just a little bent, but it still charges. Like, I got a new charger and it charges it like so fast. Like, there's nothing wrong with the charger itself or the battery or anything. It's just, it seems like I don't want to mess with it, but it seems like you could just like have someone fix it and like have it just pop it up a little bit and it'll be fine, because it's a perfectly fine phone. It doesn't die quick or anything like that, just as long as you're not on it all the time, which that's like any phone. If you're on it all day, then it's gonna die. But I ended up having to, I packed up all of his stuff and then I was going to take it to his mom's house. But long story short, I ended up having to drive 40 minutes from my place, and I was like, sweet, I don't have to drive 2.5 hours anymore to go meet up with his aunt instead of his mom. Well, her kid had got sick and I was 12 minutes away. She called me and she's like, how far away are you? I was like, oh, only 12 minutes. She goes, well, I just got a phone call from my son's school and he's really sick right now. He's throwing up, so I'm gonna have to leave and I'll come back later today, or I'll come back later tonight and we can meet then. I was already pressed for money at this time, and I thought it was kind of rude, like, to ask me to drive back there when the whole point of this was to make it easier on me, and I was already limited on gas. Like, I spent my credit card getting gas in my car to drive to drop his stuff off at his aunt's and pick up this damn phone. And then she had to leave. And literally we were on the phone for 9 minutes, because by the time we got off the phone, my GPS goes, you will arrive in 3 minutes. So I called her back and I was like, is there any way you're possibly still there? Because I'm literally 3 minutes away from the place you said to meet you. And she's like, yeah, we already left. She was 45 minutes away from where her kids were at, right? Well, waiting 3 minutes longer, or just calling them before you were to leave and let them know, because I didn't see a sick kid. She could have easily fucking had the kid just hide in the room. I don't know, I'm assuming things, I shouldn't do that. But it just didn't add up, because she called me asking how far away I was and she already had left. Therefore, she either left before she called me or she had told him, yeah, let's leave. She's 12 minutes away. And then tell me otherwise, because I was only 3 minutes away and that like really bothered me. So anyways, instead of that, I had to drive an hour and a half to drop his stuff off and get my phone, because she texted me and she was like, instead of calling me when she called me the first time, she texted me and she said, hey, we're not going to be able to come back tonight. Something had came up, and like she told me what had came up and whatnot. I don't know. It was just, I was pissed because I already had plans to do things that day with one of my friends, and which you'll be meeting soon. And I was really pissed off at the fact that like the roads were getting bad by the time that I was able to go there, because I had a bunch of things that I had to do that day. So I finally got there and I'm like, okay, well, they didn't even help me bring any of this stuff in. She finally had opened the door, and she had like 4 or 5 different kids there. They were like probably my age. Didn't even ask them like, hey kids, you should offer to help, or they didn't even offer to help. Like, we're literally, my friend actually fucking fell in the driveway, and I'm like, really? Like, all she did was crack the door open and be like, are you okay? Like, wow, you're concerned. I mean, like, yeah, she doesn't know that person, but she only met me a few times, and like she seemed like a sweetheart, but like, it just, whatever. But she made me feel a little bit better, because I did cry a little bit when I was talking to her. I'm like, you know, I'm still getting mail from him. What do I do? And she's like, I don't know, let me get a hold of the mom. And just seeing his stuff in her kitchen, like, it hit me. And then I was just so pissed off at him. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to drop this stuff off. And then when it came time to setting it on the floor and being like, wow, like, this is really it, I got emotional after talking to his aunt. And then I found out that I have stuff in here that I didn't even, then I found out that I actually have stuff in my place that is still his, and I didn't notice it So I messaged his friend and I let him know, and he was like, what? Like, that's crazy. We talked for a little bit. And he was like, you know, I did the same thing that you're talking about, because I also found like a bunch of things on his email, on his Facebook. He was friends with girls on Facebook that I've never heard of, and he had a very small list of friends. And he had like only like 3, maybe 2 people on Snapchat. No, there was 3 or 4, and I was one of them. The other one was like his other close friends. And all of a sudden, like, I'm like, I'm curious. So I go on it, and there's a girl on it. And I'm like, and yet again, like, he told me about every person that he supposedly fucked with, and it didn't. And then I was going through his text messages and found out that when he called me, like, right before I went to work at 8 p.m., he was already at his sister's house. Because he texted his sister right around that time. Like, right before that, and was like, hey, where are you at? I was like, wow, like, why did you lie? Like, even, well, actually, no, when I talked to him at 8, a little before 8, he said that he was on his way. He was halfway to his sister's house. Well, at 8:07, he had texted her saying that he was like, hey, where are you at? Because she had to go do something right before he was going to come. And I'm just like, why would he lie about that? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I still have no clue what all had happened, but, like, bits and pieces I know. And, like, it was really bothering me, and I was, like, getting down to the bottom of it. Like, I got obsessed with this phone. I really wanted to know what had happened, and who he was hanging out with, and what he did that day, and what caused it up to that point. Because he didn't even end up going to his mom's house. And he ended up getting there at a later time than, like, an earlier time than he said. So I just thought that was really weird. Because he was like, he made it sound like he was only going to be in that area for a couple hours. But it sounded like he was in that town for like 7 hours. So, let's see. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, like 7 hours, because I got the call at like 2:30 in the morning. Something like that. All I know is it was shortly before I got out of work, and I seen that, and I'm just like, what is this number? And I called it, and I'm like, sheriff's office. Like, I went home and I cried, because I was like, what happened? Like, I had no clue for like 2-3 hours what happened, like, if he was okay, and it was just really nerve-wracking. And I'm like, you know, I told him if he ever put me in the situation where he went to jail, I couldn't do that. And he said, oh, I would never do that, blah, blah, like, I would never put you through that. But he did. He even made his ex-girlfriend jealous of us. Like, she was so jealous of us. It was ridiculous. She was creeping on his Facebook and everything. Like, we were an adorable couple. We really were. And we would have made some really cute babies. But everything happens for a reason, and you just gotta not rush things. This was his daughter's hat. I wonder if I can wear it. Oh my goodness. How do I look, guys? Do I look like a cowgirl? Oh. I think I look kind of cute. She looks so cute in this hat. And I even gave her some of my childhood brats. Then my mom was like, don't give her those. You should have them here for when she's, when she comes over and visits. And I'm like once a year for a few months. Like, so, yeah. It just really sucks, because I don't know if I, like, should message the mom or, like, get the mom's number and talk to Kira. Like, I miss talking to her, but I don't know if it's really my place to do that, because we were only together for a little less than 5 months. But I really want to see how she's doing. I'm really curious about that. But don't rush things. Take it slow. Yes, babies are awesome, and getting married and stuff is awesome, but you have your whole life to do that. if you find a guy and he's right for you, I don't know why, like, this was my advice to people for years, and now I'm just now like, you need to listen to this, Cola. You don't want to have kids with the wrong guy, you don't want to get married to the wrong guy and have to deal with divorce and all that shit that everybody else deals with. So don't rush things. You have your whole life to get married, your whole life to have kids. I just wanted it at a younger age so I could do more things with them before I'm old and crippled, because I'm already getting back pains and neck pains like shit. But yeah, don't rush things. Enjoy each other before you have to enjoy a baby. Like, babies are amazing, but you want to be able to get to know them on a better level. You're never gonna know everything about someone. So I can find the man of my dreams at my work or something, and then end up like getting married and all that, but just because you meet a guy doesn't mean you need to marry them right away, or have them move in right away, or you move into their house right away. Like, no. If you have your own place, just stay put and date them for like at least a year, at least. Even 2 years is good, because then you like, you know that it'd be okay. Like, I've never had that to where I'm dating someone and then I just wait to do things. So like, even if people want to talk to me right now, which I'm not talking to anybody, but if they were, like, I let them know I want to talk first. I want to talk as friends first, get to know each other on the friend level. Then we can work our way up to going on dates and talking. And then if I like you enough and you like me enough, we can date. Like, be in a relationship kind of thing. But other than that, I don't want to. And I know I said this like before I dated John, I said that about Jared. But honestly, like, even with relationships, if I'm dating someone, I'm not going to make a YouTube video with them. I'll just hint and let you know that I have a boyfriend, like kind of how like other people do it, because I shouldn't have already have 3 guys that I've been talking about on this channel, and I haven't even had it that long. Like, I just need to stop rushing into things and just focus on myself. And just, if you think that the right guy came along way too soon, make him wait still. Like, have patience, have respect for yourself, and just live your own life, and don't let anybody control it, because at the end of the day, it's your life. And the way you go about situations and the way you go about how you want to carry yourself, that says a lot about you. That is pretty much it. That is all I want to say about this. I am hoping that I can like make this video way shorter than it's supposed to be, because I think I'm already up to like 50 minutes to an hour that I've been talking. That's ridiculous. I just had a lot to say, I guess. Hopefully I can shorten it to into like at least a half-hour video, but we shall see. So yeah, this is my why we broke up video, and I just wanted to let you guys know. We're no longer together. I'm not dating anybody. It's been two and a half months. So yeah, just follow my advice. Take it slow. Especially if you've been in so many shitty relationships like me. Like, they weren't all bad, but there's just so many different things in each one that's just like, oh my god. And it's getting really hot. I turn the heat down. But yeah, this has been my video about my non-existing boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend now. So I am officially single and not ready to mingle, like, at all. I don't even really want to have a guy take me out on a date. I've had offers, but I'm just like, I don't want to, because I know I don't want to date you, and I don't want to just get free food. Like, I'm not like that. My friend Bree said that. She was like, they're asking you out, just go. I'm like, yeah, but I already know I don't want to date them, so having them take me out, it's just weird to be like, yeah, I already know I don't want to date you, but yeah, you can take me out to this fancy restaurant, I'm okay with that. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So, yeah. I guess I'm just weird, because any other chick would probably be like, I'm down for some free food. I'd rather just buy my own food. But anywho, this is the end of my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned from it. I hope you listened to it, because I've told this to several different people and I've never listened to it, and now I'm finally starting to listen to it, and I'm 22, almost 23. Not really. I'm still far away from 23. Actually, no, I'm not. Holy shit. It's January. My birthday's in 4 months. Oh my goodness. What am I gonna do? Hopefully, nothing. So yeah, I hope you liked this video. Thumbs up if you agree, and you think this video is fucked up. No, I'm just kidding. In which way she probably would be like, I'm gonna do the opposite. People are probably gonna be like, dislike, because that's shitty that you went through that again. Like, not as fucked up as the guy before this one, but still pretty fucked up. Because it makes me feel like I wasn't important enough, even though he told me he loved me with all of his heart, and he was trying to win me back, and I wrote him a letter, and I pretty much said, like, don't even bother, because he's like, I'm gonna fix my life up and I'm gonna come back for you. I hope you're not dating anybody when I come back in 2 to 5 years. But that was before he knew that he was going to be there, and I haven't even wrote him back. I don't really know what to say to his last letter, but the one I said was just pretty much like, don't even bother trying to win me back, because I already told you it's not gonna work. So yeah, that is the end. Kind of fucked up that I had to delete a video that was our life update about our house and everything, just to make some room for the rest of this video. But I hope you liked this video. Give it a thumbs up, comment below if you have any questions or anything. Hopefully I can answer it in my next video. I have so many videos that I need to make. I already made one of them. I just gotta post it and edit it, but there's a few videos I have to post before that, so just be patient with me. I have the next 2 days off, so I'm gonna definitely make time to make another one tomorrow, possibly even 2. Just depends on how my day goes. You'll know a little bit more about everything once you at least listen to not the next one, but the one after this, like 2 away from this one. So yes, subscribe if you haven't already, and to my subscribers, I really appreciate you subscribing to me. I'm surprised that I even have like this many, and like how people comment. I like how people are like, do a life update, so you're definitely getting a life update. 2016 life update. Well, actually it'll be technically 2017, because it was like, there's stuff that happened like right before the new year, so yes. No to new boyfriend. Like, no, there's not a new guy. No. But yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.